Hi, everyone. This is Michelle for Expat Life Mexico, formerly Afro Expats. And today I am here with Michelle Watson, and she is the founder and CEO of IngenuiTEA. If you were following us for the last few weeks, we did an amazing influencer weekend. Michelle Watson was so kind enough to be the sponsor for that amazing weekend where we had Shida, Stephanie Perry, the Yarbros, and Amber Edwards, and Michelle and her friend Lavinia, right? Yeah. They came down, they did a whole tutorial. The following day, Rashida did a whole tea making process live on her channel. And it's just been so beautiful to be a part of seeing her take off, right? This is a brand new business. And she is selling all her amazing teas, which we're going to talk about today. And she's located in the United States. You can find her online at IngenuiTEAandSpice.com. We'll put that in the description box. Be sure to go down there. I am located in San Miguel de Allende, and I'm so excited to have her product. I'm going to show you her product. I'm going to show you more of it as a part of our official tea brand in Casa ELM. As you may know or may not know, I have a guest house here in San Miguel de Allende, which is located in central Mexico. And we do relocation tours and a whole bunch of fun things that happen there. We help people have a soft landing in San Miguel. And we're just super excited that we were able to have this weekend and that Michelle was there. Vannesa was there and all the influencers that came through, and we just had a blast. And this tea and tutorial was just a hit. So we're here to talk more about her stuff, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. So go right ahead, Michelle. Tell us a little bit about you and how you kind of birthed this amazing product.
Outstanding. Well, thank you, Michelle. I don't know that I can say anything better than what you just said, but as you said, I am Michelle Watson, the founder and CEO of IngenuiTEA Gourmet Tea and Spice Company, but we tend to just shorten it to IngenuiTEA, and it is a premium organic tea company. And right now we're 100% online. And as Michelle said, we recently just launched. I think we launched January 15th of this year. And so I'm beyond excited to offer healthy, low calorie, low caffeine, in many instances, no caffeine teas, organic teas, which gives our folks another option than immediately reaching for a high caloric or overly caffeinated hot or cold beverage. And so again, thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you. So I wanted to say that we had a tutorial. Michelle was just so generous. She came down. She brought us, I don't even remember, was it 6 packages of each of her flavors? And she has a lot, and they are amazing. And just, I've never been like a tea person. I like tea when I'm sick or when I want to be comforted, but she has won me over. I just want to, and I mean that, I really mean that. Like, I'm kind of craving lavender chamomile at night. I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to talk more about this, but I want to show it to you because when she showed me this bag and brand, this flavor, the thing that got me was opening the package and smelling it. Can I tell you, and I'm not exaggerating, I wanted to put a whole bunch of tea bags in a bath and jump in. That's how nice it smelled. It's like, and I'm all about scents and candles, and this is it. Like, if you're ever in that kind of like romantic chill at night mood, have this, please. Like, it's amazing. So, and the other hit. Yeah, I didn't bring the champagne and berries, which is also amazing because we don't have any more. It's gone. So I'm just saying, because I looked for it, I was like, where's the champagne and berry one? So
it's even hard for me to keep in stock on the website. It's truly one of the favorites. But since you were holding up the bag, if you don't mind, Michelle, I'm actually going to try to hold up one of the sachets
Sure.
of, and hopefully you can see that I might have to cover my face here a little bit, but that sachet, so in the sachet is like 2.5 grams of loose leaf organic tea, right? And so what you're getting is, we'll see if you can see that, you're getting these full whole leaves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so if you think about that as opposed to what most people, I would say, are used to when they buy tea or have tea or go out to restaurants and tea is served, they're kind of used to getting tea in these type tea bags. Again, here, if you can
just
see
put it a little bit closer to the camera so we can see. Right. So the flat tea bags.
Those flat tea bags, and they have what I call like pepper grain type tea. And I don't even know if you can see it because it's so, just really looks like pepper. But, they call that commodity tea. And so what commodity teas are basically it's for efficiency's sake to produce tea in mass quantities to saturate the market. And so whereas at Ingenuity, we have our premium organic teas where the Camellia sinensis plant, which is the plant that all true teas come from. So our growers pick the leaves from the Camellia sinensis plant, as opposed to commodity teas where they come through with a large machinery and just cut off the leaves. But again, you can't just get the leaves when you're coming through and just chopping. So you're getting some of the stem and what have you. And so in the industry, that's kind of known as fannings. And so, yes, it's tea pieces, but it's also particles of other stuff, right? That get ground up and get packed into those flat tea bags. And so at Ingenuity, not only are we giving you premium organic tea, but we're giving you the loose leaf tea as close to the tea itself plucked from the Camellia sinensis plant. And then we're placing them, the loose leaves, in sachets, right? So they're biodegradable sachets. There's no microplastics. And so once you introduce that sachet to hot water, it just expands, right? And now you're getting the full flavor and all the nutrients and vitamins and essential oils that Camellia sinensis plant already has.
Yes. I mean, like the excitement it's real. No, really, it's real. Like the flavors are just incredible. Just opening the bag, I wish you all could smell this by watching. When I tell you, like, it was just amazing. And that was the first one that I was able to experience. And even my son, he's a tea drinker and he loves it. So tell us a little bit about why you were so interested, like what got you into tea?
Well, my great grandmother on my mother's side, born in 1880 on the island of Grenada. And at that time, Grenada was a British colony. And when she was about 25, she emigrated to the Republic of Panama. And there she met her husband, my great-grandfather. And he had emigrated to Panama from England. And so he emigrated because of this big hole that they were digging through the Isthmus of Panama, later known as the Panama Canal.
Right.
And so these two people meet and they have similar English backgrounds, even though my grandmother was from Grenada. Again, it was an English colony. And so they kept their English ways. And so that meant tea, right? And so that was passed down through the generations. So, one of their children was my grandmother, and then from my grandmother to my mother, and then on to me. And so tea has always been a staple in my life, and it doesn't matter if it's a happy time, a sad time, if the weather is hot, if the weather is cold, it's always a great time for tea, right? And so tea just to me conjures up great family memories, and then of course it's just the health benefits, and I think that tea has been around for 5,000 plus years because of its medicinal purposes. And as we get back to the naturalness of tea, meaning from the Camellia sinensis plant, as opposed to those commodity teas, that's where I really get excited because of the health benefits that tea can offer.
Okay, so I know we have like some things we need to kind of talk about and focus on, but I have like a bunch of questions. So, first of all, again, she did an amazing tutorial at Casa ELM. And can I tell you, now she's starting to get requests for tutorials. If any one of you ever have like a tea desire of any sort, please contact Michelle, because no, when I'm telling you, it was so thorough. We did a whole like high tea English kind of setting with the desserts and little finger sandwiches, et cetera, et cetera. But the presentation was just so thorough, and it gave us a greater understanding of why this is important for us to drink, but also why it was important for you to put this product and this brand out there. So I think it's important for people to, understand like your background. And I don't know that you talked about the great-great-grandparents. So that's new for me. Thank you for sharing that. But her whole
just one great, by the way, just one great.
Okay, one great-grandparents. And yeah, so I feel like you just were able to really present it in a way where we got it. We had the smell, where we were able to smell everything. We were able to touch it. We were able to sample. There's teas that are for making hot teas, and we did iced teas. And it was just really incredible seeing the leaves and then comparing it to other brands, having such a greater understanding after your tutorial. So if anyone's ever interested in this, like, call Michelle, please, like contact Michelle. She's going to do a tutorial for you. It's amazing. So what I want to know is, like, first of all, how many flavors do you currently have?
So I will say that what I deliver to you and what people will see on our website are 14 flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that we have 7 tea types, meaning white, black, green, oolong, pu'er, herbal, and reboise. But reboise itself really is a type of herbal, but some of us particular snobby tea people, we kind of separate reboise from herbal. So, but yeah, so on the website, there'll be 14 flavors, but also 3 tea collections, which are a combination of different flavors. And each tea collection has a signature tea as well that you will not find as one of the individual flavors. And actually right now we're working on curating our Valentine's collection. So that's going to be real good. And then after that is Mother's Day. So the collections are really, they're really a great offer by Ingenuity, because you get 3 different tea types, and so you get real good value for the money.
And how many are coming in your packs?
And so in the individual pouch that you held up, there are 15 sachets, right? And then even with the collection, still you get 15 sachets.
Okay, so you get 5 of each of those flavors. Yes. Got it. Okay. Do you have any flavors a part of the collection that you don't sell as a whole pack, or like your Valentine's, is that a combination, or is it a special tea? Do you want to share that? Because this will be out before Valentine's.
Yeah. So our Valentine's collection, we're actually calling it Night on the Town collection.
Oh, I love it.
So it will have champagne and berries cheer, which I know is everyone's favorite.
Yes.
It will also have Riviera Mimosa.
Okay.
And then it will have a flavor that we do not offer as an individual flavor, because as I said, what I've tried to do is in each collection to offer a flavor that you can't get as an individual flavor. And so that 3rd flavor we're calling Chocolate Decadence. Ooh,
that's a perfect combination for Valentine's.
Absolutely.
So I hope I can get a bag of the chocolate. I think we have a mimosa and the champagne and berries. I remember seeing that we have that already. So I have other questions about this. Like her flavors are so cool and unique. So I want to talk about the ones that I currently have, so you can have an idea of what my next question and lead in is. Like, how did you come to these flavors? Like, did you sit down one night and like, oh yeah, I want to be a tropical island? And okay, so we're going to talk about this. So I only have 5 with me. I did not bring all 14 of the teas for this interview, but they are amazing, and you can find them again on her website, which is IngenuiTEA So tropical island nights, right? It has pineapple and coconut, I believe, in it, right? And this one of the things that I really admire about this packaging, in addition to the fact that there's a clear brand going on, is she has so many like little pieces of information. Right here at the bottom, these are the levels of caffeine. So there are 2 out of 5. So it has a 2 out of 5 caffeine level, which I think is awesome. I don't recall really seeing that on most tea packaging. It's like either says caffeine or caffeine free. And for the longest time, I never even knew there was caffeine in tea. So it's probably just my ignorance. And then we have, you pronounce this for me because I always say, is it puree? Chai?
Yeah, puree. And a pu'er.
Pu'er, chai, wisdom. And what's this? Okay, so spicy licorice, warm ginger, and sweet mango and berry flavor. And it's a full-bodied tea. And this has a caffeine level of 4. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about any of these, but I wanted to show all the cool flavors that she has. Here's another one, soothing pu'er leaf. And this has enjoy a boost of energy with this tummy soothing, sweet, smoky, and mellow pu'er leaf tea. This has a caffeine level of 4. Okay, that's how detailed it is. And then even on the back, I noticed with a couple of them, you have for anyone who might be allergic to nuts, there's messaging there. So this has all the.
We definitely put out the allergen alert for those folks.
Yes. And then we have a healthy detox. I've had this, it's delicious. And this one has soothe your mind and body with flavors of tart lemon, goji berry, ginger, and honey bush with this delightful caffeine free. So you see all of those circles are cleared. And then my favorite, lavender chamomile. This, okay, I know everyone went crazy about the champagne berries, but no, this is my favorite because I'm telling you, I want to bathe in this bag. So I'm going to open it because I want one tonight, but I was trying not to bring an open act to our interview. But what I wanted to do was, because I think some people may think that this has loose leaves, but no, it's full of 15 really full.
So 15 biodegradable
pyramid sachets.
Right?
Yes.
Do not contain any microplastics. So it's the loose leaf in there. So if you're someone who is a true steeper of your teas, then you can put that sachet in a steeper and pour hot water. But also you can just put it in a cup, right, and pour hot water over it.
Exactly.
So it gives you the best of both worlds. Look at that.
That's what we want you to see. Okay, it's just not grounded down or grinded down to black pepper, right? These are actual leaves in here. And I'm going to get real close and obnoxious. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Like, look at this.
Depending on how strong you like your tea, that one sachet could give you 2 or 3 cups of tea, right? So
yes.
Right there. Because it's the robust whole leaf tea.
Exactly. I'm telling you this.
You started, Michelle, you're holding that, and that's herbal tea, right? That's lavender and chamomile synergy.
I'm speechless because it's so amazing. It's like one of those satchels that you drop in a bath and drop some things in. So maybe, she's going to also offer that in the future.
Yeah, I'm writing that down.
And some candles. So I can get a whole set of this, candles, tea, and something I can drop in my bath. Okay. Just saying. No, but seriously, I'm not exaggerating, you guys, because It's amazing, like really, really amazing. And yes, I know Brianna, who's my manager at Casa ELM. She's a tea lover, drinker. She was like, Michelle, I'm not touching these teas because I'll end up drinking them all by myself. And I said, no, help yourself to a few. But she reuses hers. She saves it.
Yes,
And she
absolutely.
reuses her teas, and she's her tea satchel, and she's been reusing maybe 2 or 3 times. She told me it's like it's still strong, and it is. I think
Yes.
I reused this twice for something I had. Like I made a big, like I made a bigger than normal cup of tea. Anyway, the point is they're amazing. I wanted everyone to kind of get a close look again at all the goodness in this. And then you can explain why there's extra space in there.
Yes, because they're the whole leaf or the loose leaves. When it comes in contact with water, it's going to expand. And so I
Okay.
needed to put it in a sachet that would allow for the natural expansion. So
Right.
if you're used to those flat pepper grain type commodity teas, you just drop it in your cup of hot water and nothing happens, right?
Right. Right.
Because you're getting tea fannings, right? Some tea,
Right.
some particles. But what Michelle just held up to the camera is the true Camellia sinensis plant, and then any flavorings you might add. But actually, what I should say is actually what Michelle just held up to the camera is actually an herbal tea, right? Officially known as a tisane. So it's not a true tea at all because it doesn't come from the Camellia sinensis plant, whereas black, white, green teas do. But herbal teas are really an infusion of herbs, spices, other plant material, even fruits and flowers, as she's showing there. So almost any edible non-tea plant can be infused in hot water to create an herbal tea. So that's what
Nice.
Michelle was showing there. And then what I showed earlier, and I'll try, I don't know if I can be as good as Michelle was, but what I showed earlier, and I might have to block my face here to get it. Tell me when you can see that.
I can see
But
it now.
that's a white tea that we offer
Okay.
called spiced pear.
Yes.
Spiced pear. And so that's a true tea because it comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. But as you saw, it still has all the lushness and robustness
Right.
of the herbal tea.
Okay. That's awesome. So I also wanted to point out one other thing is that they come in these resealable bags, which holds the flavor and the smell and everything that's robust. And that's why when you open it, you just like, okay, I don't know what to say because it's so amazing. This is like my jam.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Foil lined
yes,
pouches. So it allows for a longer shelf life than if it came in a
exactly.
tin or in those little cardboard boxes.
Yes.
And I have to do that because you're getting the actual plant or you're getting the herb or the spice. So I have to do that so that the freshness is sealed in and it will last on your shelf.
Yes, I love this one. So I'm going to keep talking about it or showing this one. But no, it's amazing. And as I said, what kind of helped you develop the flavors? I mean, was it from experiences you had before? Did you kind of sit down and say, okay, this is what's out there? You know, I don't know anything about this industry and this process, but you know, were you the one who developed, you know, the flavors and the combos, or were there like some things kind of there and you're like, okay, I want to really make the true leaf of these current ideas? I don't, yeah, because I know there's a lot of teas out there because I've seen them.
Right. So again, you know, you got a little bit of my backstory. So I'm a tea lover. So I've been drinking tea forever. And I've been fortunate enough to travel all over the world. And wherever I go, I seek out tea. So I started getting an idea of what type of teas I wanted to offer. So I knew it was going to be organic, right? Because it's tea in its closest natural state to what grows on the tea plant. And then I sat down, you know, just with a pen and paper, and under each tea type, like black tea, white tea, green tea, what type of teas I like, right? And I even chose some teas that I don't necessarily like, but because of their health benefits and vitamins that are still good for my customers. And so that's what I did, Michelle. Just just my history of tea, and then just trying to curate a collection that I would be proud to have my name associated with.
And you should be. I mean, they're amazing. You can catch all 14 of her collection, I guess, everything that you currently have. And then you have the other collections that will have the specialties and things. But I know, tell us a little bit about your launch, because that happened about 2 weeks ago. Rashida did her live, and tell us how that's going.
I mean, it's beyond my wildest imagination. And to back up a little bit, in September of 2022, by that point, I was 4 months away from launching. So I didn't have a following, if you will, and I didn't even have a website. I had a landing page, but we were still building out. I had product, but we were still working on packaging. I had just received a trademark. And so I follow Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow. So I contacted them because annually they host a virtual summit called Exodus Summit.
Right.
And I asked if my company could sponsor Exodus Summit 2022. So, when I say it, it takes a bit of persistence, but it also takes some luck. And so, again, I couldn't direct them to a website. I couldn't say, oh, here's my volume of sales thus far, because I was still 4 months from launching. But Stephanie agreed to take some samples and to taste them. And so she did. Evidently, she loved them. And through those ladies, I had the opportunity to sponsor Exodus Summit 2022. And they exposed me to their thousands of women in their Exodus Summit group. And then a day before I launched, so January 14th of 2023, Michelle Wiederbaum of Casa ELM, this beautiful guest house in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. She not only said, I'm interested in having Ingenuity as the signature tea, the house tea of Casa ELM, but I want you to come out and host a tea tasting and a tea tutorial, because I'm having this, awesome YouTube influencer weekend. And it just so happened that it included Stephanie and Rashida. I mean, what dumb luck on my part. But as Michelle said earlier, it also included April and Rondell Yarbros and Amber Edwards. And so I got the chance to go out to Mexico and do that. And then the following day, which was January 15th, was actual launch day. Right. And Rashida, as Michelle said, live streamed from Casa ELM. And so, the launch, it really just took off. And so I think I've had a couple of sellouts already on my website, and we're actively restocking inventory. But, persistence on my part, yes. Pride in my product, a belief in my product, yes. But also really just a couple of folks taking a chance on me, right? Rashida and Stephanie for Exodus Summit, and then Michelle for conducting a tea tasting and a tea tutorial during her YouTube influencer weekend. And so just to get that support really did help build my confidence. And so I think, Michelle, that all tied into why the launch was and has been so successful. And it's not even a 2-week-old company.
Oh my God, that is so beautiful. And I just want to say, absolutely yes to everything you're doing. I see the pride. I see the brand. There's so many details that I know you didn't just slap this together. You came, I'm telling you, she sent teapots to Mexico. She brought her own suitcase full of teacups to match the teapots. The teas themselves, even got questioned at customs about how many tea bags she had in her suitcase. But the point is that when we sat down, I didn't really know what to expect, and it was absolutely superb. I'm not exaggerating in any way. It was just an amazing addition to the weekend as a whole. And I don't think there's any other thing I could have added that would have made it better. I really felt that this was the highlight. Of course, having them there was also the highlight, but this event, what you provided us, and just being so exact, she came, she set up, we had little displays. She put displays on each of the plates so we could smell each thing that she wanted to teach us. So I really feel the passion, and I just want to say kudos. Kudos for jumping out there. Stepping out on faith sometimes is not easy, but when you have something that really makes you, your heart go, your heart pump, you're going to do this, right? We're going to be on Zoom and it is dark outside, right? And we're going to keep working and we're going to keep doing, because I know that's a part of how I function. I'm like, okay, I'm tired. Okay, go to sleep tomorrow. We're going to keep going, and all things pull us in different directions. But in the end, it's something you can sit back and be very, very proud about, because I am proud for you, about this product. I think it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm super, super happy to be a part of it taking off. When I started last year and I told you earlier before we started to record, with the idea of having an influencer weekend, I didn't really know if everyone would say yes. I met them at different phases of being and living in San Miguel over the last 2 years. I met Stephanie and Shida because I took their 6-day challenge, get your next 3 clients in
yes.
6-day challenge. And that was the start of me actually having more of a relationship, meaning I know them from Exodus, but I didn't know them in any other capacity. And I started with this course, and then, going on to Vannesa. We got to mention Vannesa because Vannesa is also a part of, the journey that we're all taking and how we all kind of met each other. So, I signed up for Vanessa's coaching class, and then I had also signed up for Rashida and Stephanie's coaching class. Theirs was 6 days, Vanessa's was 3 months. It was more intense. There was a lot going on. I happened to meet Vannesa in January of 2021 at a meetup in Querétaro. She was just in town scouting out Mexico. And, we met at this meetup, and it was very limited because it was COVID and there were only 4 of us there, right? And so in saying that, we developed a long distance kind of like talking about business friendship initially. And then she kind of said, oh, I'm moving to Mexico. I'm doing this coaching course, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, okay, maybe I should invest in myself. Long story short, moving forward, that's how I started kind of knowing her better, and also knowing Rashida and Stephanie better. And then Rashida and Stephanie came, and then Vannesa came to Mexico. And so along the way, I was able to meet each of these people in person. And, they always have something good to say and encouraging. And then through my building my brand and my business and what I was doing, I had an interview with Vannesa, and that's how Michelle found her, and so on and so forth. So this is how the story goes, is that I met the Yarbros as well. They came to San Miguel. They reached out to me on Black SMA, and, they were asking me, hey, are you guys having a meetup? This again was, I believe, in 2021. And yeah, it was 2021. And I was just like, we'll create a meetup for you. So we all, I sent some messages out to some people, and then we were 10, 10 people that day, that night. We just meet at this rooftop, the Yarbros are here, and it was an amazing evening. And I got to know them over the course of 3 days. And these are like things that happen as the in-person goes. So when last year rolled around, I had this thought, and I said, okay, I now have also a brand, and I now also have this guest space, and I'm smoothing out all my processes. So let's do an influencer weekend. January 2023. And they all said yes, they would come. And I was kind of like, oh crap, like, are you ready for this? So the point is that everything came together so beautifully. I am so grateful to you. I know you were excited to meet us, but I just want you to know, like, I equally appreciate everything that happened that weekend, and you were a huge part of that, and that your brand was there. And so I just want to like express that to you. I'm still using my lavender, but I'm like, thank you for that lavender gift.
Oh, you're
That
welcome.
lavender shea butter is everything. I was like, I got to get some more of this. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think you brought me a nice gift pack. So the point simply is that it's been really amazing having you be a part of that weekend. It was our inaugural weekend, and we're considering doing it again once a year in 2024. So,
Hey.
and I like so far the business model that kind of came together. We didn't plan it this way, but things happen because we keep doing putting one foot in front of the other and just keep trying and keep building. So that's kind of what we're here for. But before I keep rambling on and on, go ahead.
I think also, if I can just piggyback on some of what you said,
Sure.
I don't want to gloss over the name Vannesa,
Yes.
too easily. So really, and I told Michelle this before when I met her in San Miguel de Allende, that for me, it was a full circle moment, because as Michelle said, I was watching one of her YouTube videos, and she was interviewing Miss Vannesa Jacquemin as a business strategist. And so I had this idea, right, about setting up an organic tea company, but do I wait a few years till I have enough money to open a brick and mortar? I know I can do it online, but I'm a little afraid to do it online. And Stephanie Perry always says, do it afraid. Right. Yes. And so the interview you did with Vannesa was outstanding. And shortly thereafter, I contacted her, and I became one of her students, if you will, over a 4-month period. And so I really thought, Michelle, that, I knew who my target audience was and what I was going to offer. But Vannesa has this fantastic proprietary product that really helps you narrow and focus in on who your ideal customer is, what his or her pain point is, then how either your product or service addresses that pain point. And so I would just say to budding entrepreneurs, one, contact Vannesa Jacquemin, but also be open and flexible, right? You know what you're going to bring to the market, whether it's a product or a service. And sometimes you can be very territorial about it, but if you employ a professional, right? So whether it's a coach like Stephanie Perry or a business strategist like Vannesa Jacquemin, just keep an open, flexible mind, because Vannesa really did help me simplify and target my market and what I needed to do. And so, yes, all the social media promotion from the influencers, yes, being at Casa ELM really did help my launch, but the parameters and the structure and infrastructure were already there. And that was, in great part to Vannesa Jacquemin. So I just didn't want to gloss over her name. Every step of the way, you ladies have been there for me in one form or fashion, opening a door or teaching me something or showing me something. And I just had to be open-minded and receptive to take it. So
absolutely. And I want to also put another plug in for Vannesa, because when she and I met, we didn't talk business. I didn't know what she did. And this is when we met in person at the Querétaro meetup. And I think we just said we were going to exchange numbers. She was telling me she had just left San Miguel. I happened to meet her in Querétaro. She was checking out which place or city. She decided, Querétaro was her place. And I remember she was just like, okay, I might reach out to you to get more information, blah, blah, blah. We did different things. We were talking about just a bunch of different things. And then she said, a few weeks later, I checked out your channel and I love your brand, there aren't a lot of people doing what you do from your perspective. and you live in San Miguel. And she started to tell me then about her program, but she wasn't pushy about it. She was just kind of like talking to me. And I've always had this mindset of, I do it myself. I do it this, I can do whatever I can do. And, at that time I had a lot more time on my hand because I was just starting out and I really didn't have anything of a focus. And I remember she told me about her one-on-one, her one-to-one. So she offers group coaching and then she does the one-on-one. Well, because I was so new at that time, and I think I was still lacking my own focus, I was kind of like, well, tell me about the group coaching program. I will do that. And so I signed up to do that. And that actually happened about a week or a week and a half after I did Stephanie and Rashida's program. And I just happened to see and sign up for Stephanie and Rashida's program because I received an email about this challenge that they have or they had going. And I was like, oh, okay, this is for 6 days. I can do that, even though I had already signed up for Vannessa's thing. And Vannesa and I went back and forth for a little while because she was just like, I said, well, I'm not starting out brand new. And I wasn't. I was like, I already have a website. I already have a name. I have my channel, and then she literally stopped me dead in my tracks. She says, what's your offer? And I was like, don't know. Like, okay. So she made me think, and I like that about her. So she really holds you accountable for what is it that you're selling. And, and she's good. She's really good at helping you get clear. And that was always the thing. It's like, get clear, make sure your messaging is right. There were just a lot of things. I have a lot of ideas because my brain works in a more creative kind of realm. And I always have ideas. Like, I'm you talking and an idea pops up like, yeah, let's do bubble bath stuff and blah, blah, blah. Right. But then it's like, okay, I have this shiny, pretty brand new logo, and I'm also good at creating the brand. But then who do I execute? Where do I put it? Right. Exactly. How do I launch this? And that's what I went to her with. And I said, okay, I have this brand, but what do I do with it? And I was saying this last night to Rashida and Stephanie, that when they were talking about this and Vannesa was talking about collaborating and influencers and guest speaking and doing things together or approaching someone about being a partner with, that felt and sounded so foreign to me back then. And here I am with you, Vannesa, Stephanie, Rashida, and we're collaborating, right? And this is what has helped you and me, right? And anyone else out there. So the point simply is that it works. It works. I agree. It works. And I'm super grateful to Vannesa because she definitely gave me so many tools that I can continue using now that I actually have a space, because back then it was an online thing. And all of those things that I learned from both of those group coaching sessions with her and also Rashida and Stephanie just really helped me take my mind and say, okay, you don't have to do it all yourself. You do need to hire professionals to help you. So yeah, it was a huge plus. So yeah, we could go on and on about all of our experience because we're happy with what happened, right? The results are good. Yeah.
And, we're overlapping and our paths are crossing for a reason. So why not speak to it?
Right. And I think we covered, because one of the things that we were going to discuss is how were we able to have a successful launch, given that you are a new business. We kind of covered that. I don't know if you want to add anything to it.
No, I think we really did cover it. I think I had the infrastructure in place through my relationship with Vannesa Jacquemin. I also was in her group business strategy class, and as that 3-4 months was coming to an end, I was like, no.
Yes.
How do I stay with you? And so she truly has been with me every step of the way. So she's my business strategist, she's my project manager, and quite frankly, she's a friend. So so it's the infrastructure that I had in place, and then of course the grace and mercy that you, Michelle, and that Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow have shown me.
Absolutely. And I know that the Yarbros are putting, I believe, their video out this weekend. So we'll be looking out for that. You're in it.
Well, listen, I've been following the Yarbros because when I first found them on YouTube, they were in one of my most favorite places in Mexico, Merida, Mexico, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I've been following them ever since. So I was so happy to see them get out of Peru safely. And, I'm on to the next journey with them. So yes, much love to April and Rondell Yarbrough.
Absolutely. They're amazing. And they're still hanging out here in Mexico for a little bit. And they're not in San Miguel, but they were like, yeah, of course we'll come and see you if you do this again. So I'm really grateful to them as well. Like I was just elated that people said yes. I mean, yeah, okay, it was in exchange for staying at Casa ELM so we can have some more light shining on us and what we're doing. But I really didn't know that we were all going to come together. So it was just a beautiful thing. And I'm super grateful. One of the things I wanted to ask you is that what do you feel you learned as like a new entrepreneur now that you're 2 weeks in? Anything that you would do differently, better, change, or is it sort of like, you know what, this is the journey?
Yeah, I think, I don't know that there's anything I would have changed. And what I mean by that is I didn't do everything perfectly in the least. But sometimes, Michelle, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And so if I had waited till I had perfect knowledge, there would be no ingenuity. Right. And so sometimes you just have to step out on faith. But I didn't step out on faith with ignorance. As I said, I had the support in the infrastructure in place, and I worked on it for well over a year, and I got good assistance in Vannesa Jacquemin, and I was a bit proactive in reaching out to Stephanie and Rashida, though I didn't have a packaged product to show them, or a website, or even any sales revenues, right? And I accepted your, I guess I would say, challenge to show up in Mexico with 56 pouches of tea at the customs, trying to get into the country so that I could hold this tutorial and tea tasting and leave my teas at Casa ELM so they could be signature teas. And so I don't know that I would change anything. For new entrepreneurs, it really also depends on if you're offering a product as opposed to a service. For me, I have a product, so there's like a supply chain that I have to get used to and learn the timing of that. But again, there's certain things you just don't know, and you just have to do it, and you're going to learn along the way. And so faith with some research, right?
Right. Exactly. And that's very relatable, I think, for a lot of entrepreneurs. I think, like you said, there's no way to be perfect and to know all the answers. It's impossible, because a lot of times people that are starting out as a new entrepreneur, or even if you've had experience in the past of having a business, sometimes those businesses are completely different, right? So the processes and how you put it out there, nowadays, having all this access to digital things, I think that's intimidating for me, because I'm sort of like, well, how do I get this in front of eyes that are going to be online? So, it's just one of those things where you just don't really know for sure what's going to be what, but yes, you can come prepared. You can be totally prepared for it. So the last question is what are your short and long-term goals for your business and anything else you want to share? I
think short-term that we're looking to engage in logical, smart expansion efforts. So IngenuiTEA right now, as I said, is a 100% online premium organic tea company. And I know that I have a quality, healthy, premium product, which to me makes perfect sense to be positioned with other premium products. So getting my teas in hotels, spas, on private corporate jets, in the corporate boxes at ballparks, and of course on supermarket shelves. So for me, that would be the short term. You asked about long term, but I'm going to kind of speak to medium term maybe.
Okay.
And that would be to move into bottling, right? So ready to drink or organic teas. And then I think long term is really moving into a brick and mortar, which would allow me to offer the full plethora of a tea experience. So in-house tutorials, tea tasting, offering English style afternoon teas, offering the Japanese tea ceremony. And I'm really excited about that prospect because, again, I love tea. Tea is an experience. It has great health qualities and medicinal purposes. And you know, I'm unbelievably biased, but I think everyone should have at least one cup of tea a day. Also, you know, for the fact of the matter is tea is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water. So if you're not drinking water, the next best thing you can put in your body is tea.
It's tea. Okay. See, I wouldn't have known that. I would have said coffee.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm also learning more new things about tea. But no, this is beautiful. I was listening to you and I was just thinking, franchise. long term, maybe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that popped in.
God's ear, as they say.
Exactly. So is there anything else you want to share with us about your brand? Again, I want to say the name again, IngenuiTEA and Spice.com. I know that you have more on the, packaging, but that's how you find her online. All of this amazing tea is available and shipped. Is it anywhere in the United States, right?
Yes, it is anywhere in the United States. And I've had many inquiries about international shipping. And so we're looking at that. I know. Yes. We're looking at that. It's kind of difficult right now for Mexico for some other reasons, but we're definitely looking at that. Again, we're 2 weeks old, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
But lastly, I think for me, Michelle, obviously, thank you so much. Absolutely. But if I could say anything about IngenuiTEA's organic tea is when you're drinking organic tea, you're drinking tea as close to its natural state as possible, right? Which exposes us to all the natural nutrients and vitamins and essential oils, which are naturally present in the Camellia sinensis plant or the tea plant. And you're going to find that in each sachet of IngenuiTEA. And even for the non-true teas, our herbal teas, the lavender and chamomile synergy that Michelle loves so much, the healthy detox, which is unbelievable. If you look at the organic ingredients in there, absolutely unbelievable. Yes. So even for our herbal teas, the health benefits are outstanding, and you're truly getting the true robustness of everything that we blend in that sachet. So I'm truly proud of IngenuiTEA Gourmet Tea and Spice Company.
Awesome. I love it. And since you mentioned it, I will talk about the ingredients in this because I actually had this and it was amazing. So the organic lemon myrtle, organic goji berry, organic honeybush, organic ginger root, organic fennel seed, and organic lemongrass. It's right there on the pack. Okay. The ingredients don't lie, right? So, yeah. So this I had after our weekend because we ate too much stuff.
So you needed to detox.
Yes, and it was amazing. And it's nice. It's very mild. It's lemony and gingery, all of that. So as I said, like all of these packs, I'm just going to run them by you again because I love it. I love the packaging so much. I love the name. I love everything that it's about. I love all the details. It tells you on the back all of the ingredients.
And if I can say, Michelle, on the one you're holding, the soothing pure pu'er leaf, it
Mhm.
shows 4 colored circles for caffeine.
Yes.
For the caffeine level. So you would think, oh my gosh, it's such a high caffeine level. But
Mhm.
really, 8 ounces of brewed black tea has
Mhm.
about 47 milligrams of caffeine, whereas the
Mm.
same amount of brewed tea of coffee has 95 milligrams.
Oh,
So
wow.
even on Ingenuity's packaging, where you see there's a high level of
Mhm.
caffeine, you kind of have to put high in quotes, right? It's just
Right.
high for that particular type of tea. But
Okay.
compared to coffee, no. If you need a natural energy boost, our high caffeinated teas are still your best best choice.
Right. And that's Earl Grey. And what's the other one?
Five-star mint fusion is our other
That's
black tea.
right. Okay.
Mhm.
Because I don't have that one here with me, or those two, but I
Yeah.
remember seeing it on the shelf. So at the house, we have shelves full of this amazing tea. And I'm telling Brianna, keep an eye on those people. Make sure they don't walk away with more than a couple satchels. I don't want them to take the whole bag.
Even more reason to book a stay at Casa ELM in San Miguel de
Yes.
Allende, Mexico. Even more
Come
reason.
on down.
We have a
Exactly.
fantastic location, a beautiful home. Michelle
Thank
gave my
you.
friend Lavinia Bradley and I a full tour,
Thanks.
and great hostesses. I mean, what a triple threat.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful weekend. It was definitely above what I thought the outcome would be, especially like I said, your contributions to the weekend, your tutorial, everything. Having these guests in my home and just, I'm all about energy, just having this positive flow of things that are happening there. It just leaves me with so much joy to be just a part of these beautiful things. Like I'm a part of your launch. And it was, I'm so grateful that it started with being in Mexico and you being able to share your passion. It was beautiful. It was absolutely amazing. So I'm so super happy for you and congratulations.
Thank you,
Keep
Michelle. Thank
selling
you.
out. You guys keep buying
Yay.
her teas. So
And
we're gonna.
and we're committed at Ingenuity to investing 10% of our annual
That's right.
profits back into the community that is helping with food security. Some call it food insecurity, and also with Black farming initiatives.
Mhm.
So Ingenuity, we definitely we're born out of the community and we're investing back into the community.
Absolutely. I love it. Yes, I meant to bring that up sooner. So if you all are not tea drinkers, you need to become a tea drinker. You need to try these teas. I mean, they're amazing, honestly.
I will say, Michelle, that oftentimes when people say they don't like tea or they're not tea drinkers because it's bitter, it's because they're drinking that commodity tea, right? That pepper grain looking tea.
Exactly.
So I would say give Ingenuity a chance. And we have so many tea types and tea flavors.
Yes.
And so if green tea doesn't sit well with your stomach, you have a very subtle tea in white tea, right?
Exactly.
We have the herbal teas, which Michelle loves so much. So,
Yes.
or pu'er, which is a fermented tea. Right. So that
Mhm.
really helps with digestion and anyone that has stomach problems. So I think at Ingenuity, we offer a full range and a full gamut that even our diehard coffee lovers will find
Yes.
it for them.
Yeah, no, and I can say that I am that person because I have coffee in the morning and now I find myself reaching for mostly lavender, whether it's morning, mostly at night, but just saying like I am feeling more drawn to having kind of like that comfort
Yes.
of what I get from drinking tea. And it's not just because I don't feel good. Do you know what I mean? Like that night that you gave me the lavender when you were setting everything up, I came home. I could not wait to put it in a cup. And I'm pretty sure I was like, maybe it's just like psychological, but I felt that I slept better. I
Yes,
was
ma'am.
just like, this is amazing. So
That's the chamomile, true chamomile. So yes, ma'am.
Exactly. So if you haven't looked it up by now, please jump on your, phone, your computer, your laptop, and look up her brand and definitely place orders. Even if you have to wait a couple days or whatever it is, she's a new company, be patient. just like we are. We're new, be patient. And yeah, check it out. I'm so happy to have met you in person. Happy to have been a part of this excitement, because that's exactly what it is. And, and just to see you take off and grow, I know it's going to be fabulous. And again, if anyone wants a tutorial, contact Michelle. She's going to fly to the end of the earth to give you a tutorial.
I think like you and Rashida are now my business managers with this tutorials.
Yes, exactly. I think it's amazing. Maybe do a minimum, it has to be a minimum number of people, and Michelle's going to come, you tell them what kind of teapots and how, she had everything. That's all I can say. Absolute, not just talking about boiling water and pouring it in a cup. No, she had like all the equipment that was necessary to make the cold teas. Beautiful. It was just a beautiful, beautiful display. We did the tablescape, and it was just an amazing time. So I can't thank you enough. So yeah.
Go to the CasaELM IG to look at those pictures.
Yes. I am a little behind on putting my stuff out, but it's out there, and we're going to put this out.
It's on Ingenuity's IG, Ingenuity and Spice IG's page as well. But
Yes, it'll be out there. We're actually working on recapping the whole weekend. So I have someone who's actually editing for me, kind of more like a ad of the weekend plus all the other stuff that we want to put in. So hopefully that'll be done soon. Anyway, I'm Michelle for Expat Life Mexico. I'm so grateful that you were able to join us and also to be on my channel. You're welcome here anytime to talk about any new products you want. Feel free to reach out and say, hey, Michelle, I got, ABC. I love your packages. Please do share anything that you do have and you put on IG. Please attach us as well. We may not have the chocolate flavor, but we do have some of the other ones. Just saying, give us that awareness, include us as well, because we're happy to spread the tea sermon, the tea gospel, right? We're happy to spread the tea gospel. So thank you again. I wish you so much success and continued success. And I think this is absolutely incredible, and we're learning a lot from you. And I think that this is going to be amazing. I really do.
Thank you, Michelle. Again, what an honor, what an absolute honor. It was a full circle moment for me, as I said, and CasaELM is beautiful. The amenities are beautiful, and you guys as hostesses really just made me feel beyond comfortable. And so I actually hope to return to CasaELM just as a guest.
Yes, please do. Anytime. You're always welcome. Just reach out and let us know.
Thank you.
On that note, I'm Michelle for Expat Life Mexico. I have a guest house, Casa ELM in San Miguel de Allende. We provide lots of information about life in Central Mexico, which is where we're located. I've been here for almost 5 years, and, I get to meet amazing people like Michelle and everyone else we mentioned. So if you're still here and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you are a subscriber, and also the bell to get notifications on when we put new videos out, so on and so forth. And thank you so much for being supportive of this channel and all the information that we want to bring to you from this amazing city. So on that note, thanks again, Michelle, and thanks, Vannesa, and all the influencers that came out to support us. And we really appreciate you.